Welcome to today's video. In this episode, we're diving into the world of Roosevelt dimes and uncovering the 6 most valuable and expensive rare examples ever struck in the United States. These coins may look small, but their history, rarity, and surprising market value make them true treasures for collectors. First up, we're exploring the most rare and valuable. The 1983 Roosevelt dime, with the Denver D mint mark, may appear unremarkable to the casual eye, yet it holds a unique position in the numismatic market due to its scarcity and high-grade condition and the collector demand created by the minting practices of the early 1980s. This dime has become a symbol of how overlooked coins from modern circulation can emerge as highly desirable treasures. While a dirty or circulated example may not immediately suggest value, certain ultra-rare varieties and well-preserved specimens from this vintage have earned places among the most valuable Roosevelt dimes known today. Collectors actively seek it because it represents a combination of rarity, overlooked history, and long-term investment potential. When looking at its historical context, the 1983 D Roosevelt dime reflects a period of transition in U.S. coinage. Struck at the Denver Mint, it was issued during an era when inflation had stabilized but the nation was still recovering from economic challenges. The absence of official uncirculated coin sets in 1982 and 1983 left a major gap for collectors, meaning coins of this year had to be pulled directly from circulation if they were to be preserved in pristine condition. This historical detail is what makes the 1983 issues, especially Denver minted examples, more difficult to find in top grades. While Roosevelt's image had long been associated with the dime as a tribute to his New Deal policies and leadership during World War II, the 1983 D reflects not just his legacy, but also the practical challenges of U.S. mint production in the early 1980s. In terms of design, the 1983 D Roosevelt dime continues the familiar artwork by Chief Engraver John R. Sinek, but close study reveals why some examples stand out. The obverse features Roosevelt's profile with inscriptions for liberty and in God we trust, while the reverse showcases the torch flanked by olive and oak branches, embodying liberty, peace, and strength. Struck on copper nickel-clad planchets weighing 2.27 grams, its small size, 17.9 millimeters in diameter, masks a wealth of detail that collectors prize when preserved. On high-grade examples, sharp strike quality reveals crisp hairlines on Roosevelt's portrait and clear torch lines on the reverse. These subtle but important details become defining factors in determining rarity and ultimate market value. Rarity for the 1983 D dime is tied to both mintage circumstances and era varieties. While hundreds of millions were produced, very few were set aside in mint condition due to the lack of uncirculated sets. This created a scarcity of high-grade survivors, especially coins graded MS-66 and above. Error varieties, including off-center strikes, clipped planchets, and misaligned dies, are especially sought after, with some being extremely rare. The challenge is compounded by the fact that many coins circulated heavily and now appear dirty or worn, making the process of identifying hidden gems a specialized skill. Condition plays a decisive role. A circulated example holds little value beyond its face, while an uncirculated specimen with exceptional luster and full torch details can be worth hundreds or more. Market values for the 1983 D Roosevelt dime illustrate this gap between ordinary and extraordinary examples. Circulated coins typically bring little to no premium, often valued between $300 and $600. However, certified mint state 66 coins regularly trade for $1,000 to $2,500, while MS-67 specimens have been known to exceed $8,000. Full torch designations are rare and consistently command top prices. Error coins add another dimension, with dramatic errors selling for hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on their uniqueness and appeal. The strong performance of top-graded coins reflects the increasing recognition of modern Roosevelt dimes as legitimate collector investments, rather than merely pocket change. For collectors hoping to secure one of these elusive dimes, careful attention to grading and authenticity is essential. Submitting finds to professional grading services such as PCGS or NGC ensures accurate evaluation and maximizes resale value. When searching for raw examples, collectors should focus on sharp strikes, minimal contact marks, and strong torch details. The 1983 D Roosevelt dime represents an exceptional blend of historical significance, design artistry, rarity, and modern collector appeal. Its importance lies not just in Roosevelt's enduring legacy, but also in the unusual minting conditions that have made high-quality survivors genuinely scarce. From a humble coin in circulation to a star of numismatic auctions, it demonstrates how overlooked dates in American coinage can hold surprising value. For collectors, it remains both a challenge and an opportunity, an accessible dime in ordinary form, but a remarkable investment in its rarest varieties and finest conditions. Its appeal continues to grow as modern numismatics gains recognition, securing its place as one of the most valuable treasures of the Roosevelt dime series. And secondly, we're talking about the most valuable and most rare, the USA 1982 Roosevelt dime, with the Denver D mint mark, has emerged as a numismatic treasure that continues to surprise collectors in 2025. While at first glance it appears to be an ordinary circulation piece, its true value lies in a combination of scarcity, minting quirks, and rising collector demand. Even in poor or very dirty condition, certain examples from this year and mint mark can command significant premiums due to their rarity and cultural importance. Collectors are drawn to the 1982 D not only for its connection to mid-20th century American history, but also for its role in a pivotal moment in modern minting practices. Its unexpected market appeal reflects how a coin once passed over in pocket change can now be at the center of serious numismatic attention. The year 1982 marked a turning point in U.S. coinage. Rising production costs and shifts in monetary policy were forcing the U.S. Mint to streamline processes. Denver, one of the busiest mints, carried much of the burden of producing Roosevelt dimes for circulation. The design, honoring Franklin D. Roosevelt, remained unchanged, but the context in which it was struck was dynamic. It was a decade marked by economic uncertainty, inflation, and cultural transitions, with coins serving as silent witnesses to these shifts. Minting quality occasionally faltered under pressure, and transitional mistakes, such as missing mint marks and odd die clashes, became part of the historical legacy of the 1982 production run. The obverse of the 1982 D Roosevelt dime showcases John R. Sinek's classic portrait of President Roosevelt, paired with inscriptions like "Liberty," "In God We Trust," and the date 1982, along with the small Denver D mint mark. The reverse displays a torch flanked by an olive branch and an oak branch, symbolic of liberty, peace, and strength, with United States of America and one dime encircling the design. Struck in a copper-nickel-clad composition, measuring 17.9 millimeters in diameter, it reflects the technical standards of its era. Collectors often focus on strike sharpness, especially the full bands variety on the torch, which indicates a stronger and more precise strike. Rare die errors, or double dies from this year, elevate its uniqueness. While the general 1982 D dime had a large mintage, its rarity lies in error coins and exceptional survivors. One famous parallel is the 1982 No P dime from Philadelphia, which redefined modern dime collecting. Denver's issue, though marked, still saw its share of striking irregularities. Factors like weak strikes, die fatigue, and quality control oversights have created a spectrum of rarities within the 1982 D series. Even when a specimen is very dirty, its scarcity as a mint error or exceptional strike sustains collector interest. Circulated examples with unique features can rival mint state prices if they reveal anomalies, showing how condition and rarity interact in complex ways. Market trends reveal that circulated 1982 D dimes usually trade at face value unless they carry unique attributes. However, rare errors, such as double dies, off-center strikes, or transitional planchet mistakes, can fetch anywhere from $500 to several $1,000s depending on severity and grade. Mint state examples with full bands have been auctioned in the $1,000 to $8,000 range, and top pop graded pieces can bring even more. While dirty or worn examples generally lag in value, collectors still pay premiums for rare errors regardless of condition. The rise of online auctions and niche collector forums has amplified demand, making the 1982 D an increasingly lucrative coin in the right circumstances. For collectors seeking this coin, attention to detail is crucial. Examining the obverse for doubling, misaligned dies, or unusual mint mark placements can reveal hidden treasures. The reverse torch is equally important, as sharp, full bands varieties drive value. Professional grading services like PCGS or NGC provide authentication and preservation, ensuring a coin's rarity is verified. Collectors should consider coin shows, major auctions, and trusted dealers when pursuing the 1982 D, avoiding raw purchases unless they can confirm varieties themselves. Preservation matters even in dirty or circulated examples. Gentle handling and proper storage can maintain a coin's long-term appeal. The 1982 D Roosevelt Dime represents more than just another year in circulation. It bridges the mint's evolving practices of the 1980s with a design that honors one of America's most consequential presidents. Its appeal stems from the combination of historical weight, minting anomalies, and rising collector recognition. Whether in pristine mint state or found in dirty, circulated form, the right variety can transform a seemingly ordinary dime into a highly desirable asset. This enduring potential ensures that the 1982 D will remain a key target for both seasoned numismatists and newcomers alike. You must look at every 1982 D dime not for its date and mint mark, but for its flaws. Hold it up to the light. Is the design centered? Is there any unusual blob of metal or jagged crack? Does it look like it was struck on the wrong kind of metal blank? This process of hunting is what coin collectors call searching for treasure in your pocket change. And for a very good reason to eye in the wider landscape of Roosevelt dimes. The 1982 D stands as an overlooked gem, waiting to be appreciated fully. Its story is not about mass production, but about hidden scarcity, subtle mint errors, and the fascination collectors feel when discovering extraordinary details in ordinary coins. For collectors, it offers the thrill of the hunt and the reward of knowledge. This balance of history, rarity, and market energy secures its place as one of the most compelling dimes of its era, proving that even in worn or dirty condition, value can endure when rarity takes center stage. And thirdly, we're diving deep in the world of numismatics. The 1965 Roosevelt dime, without a mint mark, is a paradoxical treasure, a coin that outwardly appears as common pocket change, yet holds an allure that captivates serious collectors in 2025. Its fascination lies not in pristine beauty, but in a profound scarcity that defies its modern era. This particular dime is a ghost from a period of immense transition, a rare and unintended artifact from the year the United States Mint ceased producing silver coinage for circulation. Despite often being found in very worn or dirty conditions, its value is unexpectedly high, driven by a perfect storm of historical circumstance and minting anomaly. The growing market demand for this issue is fueled by specialists who hunt for the extraordinary within the seemingly ordinary, making it a cornerstone for collections focused on modern U.S. minting errors and the pivotal mid-1960s period. The historical backdrop of this coin's production is one of national economic anxiety and technological adaptation. 1965 was the inaugural year of the Great Switch to copper-nickel-clad coinage, a direct response to the nationwide coin shortage caused by the hoarding of silver coins as the price of the metal soared. The mint was under tremendous pressure to produce millions of new clad dimes, leading to operational strains and the repurposing of old dies. Crucially, this was also the first year the Philadelphia Mint, which produced the majority of dimes, was not required to place a mint mark on its coins. While this was official policy, a small number of coins were struck from dies originally prepared in 1964 that still bore the recess where a mint mark would have been punched. These unpunched dies accidentally produced a handful of 1965 dimes with the faint, ghostly outline of a mint mark cavity, a subtle error that connects them directly to the previous silver era. This coin is not merely a piece of currency, but a tangible relic of the mint's frantic struggle to adapt. The unique features that define a valuable 1965 no-mint mark dime are exceedingly subtle and require careful scrutiny. The obverse features the familiar profile of Franklin D. Roosevelt by John R. Sinek, while the reverse depicts a torch flanked by an olive branch and an oak branch. The coin's composition is the new copper-nickel clad over a pure copper core, a defining shift from the 90% silver of previous years. The critical identifying feature is found on the reverse, to the left of the torch where the mint mark D or P would typically be located. On the rare error variety, this area is not smooth. Instead, it shows a faint, irregular outline or cavity, which is the remnants of the unused mint mark punch from a repurposed 1964 die. This is not a raised feature but a depression, often filled with grime or worn down, making detection in a dirty, circulated condition particularly challenging. High-quality strikes or full bands are not a factor for this specific variety, as its value is derived solely from this minting mistake. The extreme rarity of this variety is not due to a low mintage figure. Over 1.6 billion dimes were struck in 1965, but to the fact that these error coins were produced by a minuscule number of obsolete dies that slipped into the massive production run. It is estimated that only a few dozen examples are known to exist, and the vast majority were discovered in heavily circulated condition, having entered circulation and been spent as ordinary currency. A very dirty or worn condition, which would destroy the value of most modern coins, is the expected and most common state for this variety. While a cleaner example would command a premium, even a dime in poor condition retains significant value because the diagnostic feature, the faint cavity, is still often detectable beneath the wear and grime. Survival in any grade is a minor miracle, and collectors are far more concerned with the presence of the error than with its aesthetic appeal. Market value for a genuine 1965 Roosevelt dime with a no mint mark error is substantial and reflects its status as a modern rarity. Even in a low grade such as good 4 or very good 8, with the coin being very dirty and well worn, examples can command prices between $1,000 and $2,500, a staggering sum for a dime in such poor overall condition. For a specimen in a more presentable, extremely fine grade, values can range from $4,000 to over $7,000. Auction trends show that verified examples generate intense bidding wars among advanced collectors completing Roosevelt dime sets or specializing in error coins, with prices heavily influenced by the clarity of the diagnostic cavity and the coin's overall authenticity. Its value is almost entirely tied to its error status, making it one of the most valuable regular-issue Roosevelt dimes from the clad era. For collectors seeking this numismatic ghost, diligence and verification are paramount. Identification requires a powerful loupe and strong, angled light to examine the mint mark area on the reverse for any sign of an irregular depression or cavity. A perfectly smooth surface indicates a common coin. The 1965 no-mint mark Roosevelt dime endures as a captivating chapter in American numismatics, a coin whose humble appearance belies a profound historical narrative and exceptional rarity. Its appeal is rooted in its role as an accidental witness to a moment of monetary revolution, a tangible mistake from a year of immense change. It represents the ultimate needle in a haystack for collectors, offering a blend of historical importance and financial worth that appeals to both novice enthusiasts captivated by the hunt and seasoned specialists building advanced collections. Its market potential remains strong, underpinned by a fixed, minuscule population and a growing appreciation for modern mint errors, ensuring its status as a prized and appreciating asset for the foreseeable future. This dime encourages every enthusiast to look closer, reminding us that significance is often hidden in plain sight. And fourthly, we're going to explore the most valuable and most expensive, the 1995 Roosevelt dime, with the Philadelphia P mint mark stands out today as a numismatic treasure that collectors increasingly recognize for its rarity and hidden value. While most modern dimes are often dismissed as common change, this issue has surprised enthusiasts in 2025 due to its limited survival in high grades, its connection to unique minting anomalies, and its symbolic role in U.S. coinage history. Even in very poor or dirty condition, certain rare varieties or error strikes from this year can command impressive premiums, making it a captivating coin for those who appreciate both the artistry and the historical currents surrounding its production. Its allure lies in the fact that, despite its modest appearance, the 1995 P dime has begun to embody the perfect mix of scarcity, historical resonance, and growing collector demand. The early 1990s presented an economic landscape defined by transition. The United States was emerging from the recession of the early decade, and the Philadelphia Mint was under increasing pressure to produce billions of coins to fuel commerce in a fast-expanding economy. The Roosevelt Dime, a series launched in 1946, had already become a staple of pocket change, symbolizing both post-war recovery and Franklin D. Roosevelt's enduring legacy. By 1995, the design had been in circulation nearly half a century, and while many dismissed it as ordinary, the sheer volume of coinage production introduced new opportunities for striking challenges, misalignments, or quality control errors. In this sense, the 1995 P dime not only reflects the industrial minting demands of its era, but also tells a story about the evolving role of coinage in a society shifting from physical cash to the first stirrings of digital payment systems. Examining the 1995 P dime's physical and artistic elements, one encounters the enduring design of John R. Sinek. On the obverse, Roosevelt's portrait is flanked by the inscriptions "Liberty," "In God We Trust," the year 1995, and the small P mint mark. The reverse continues the symbolism with a torch, olive branch, and oak branch representing liberty, peace, and strength. Struck in a copper-nickel-clad composition with a weight of 2.27 grams and a diameter of 17.9 millimeters, this coin seems unremarkable at first glance. Yet small distinctions, such as sharply defined full bands on the torch or unusually crisp strikes, elevate certain specimens to elite collector status. Proof-like qualities or double-die varieties add further intrigue, reminding collectors that even among billions, a handful of coins stand apart. Rarity, in the case of the 1995 P dime, comes from more than simple mintage totals. While hundreds of millions were struck, only a tiny percentage survived with the sharp detail and clean surfaces that top collectors seek. Moreover, errors such as off-center strikes, broad strikes, or double-die obverse make specific examples far scarcer than the standard issue. When one considers that most dimes enter circulation and sustain wear, coins in very dirty or heavily used condition can still retain value if they exhibit a recognized minting anomaly. In fact, some collectors prize such circulated specimens as proof of their journey through decades of commerce, giving them a unique narrative alongside their technical rarity. In today's market, the 1995 P dime demonstrates surprising strength for the right examples. Circulated pieces without errors generally remain worth face value, but certified high-grade mint state examples with full bands often sell between $40 and $150. Error varieties, depending on severity and visibility, can fetch from $200 to well over $1,000 at auction. A notable double-die obverse in even a lower grade can attract strong bids, since demand outpaces the limited supply. Auction trends over the last decade reveal a steady appreciation, with collectors now treating modern Roosevelt dimes as a serious frontier in U.S. numismatics, especially as registry set competition grows. For collectors seeking to capture the allure of this dime, careful strategies are essential. The first step is to check circulation finds or bulk lots of dimes for strong strikes, unusual doubling, or misaligned features. Professional grading services like PCGS and NGC play a crucial role, since authentication of rare varieties or errors is critical for market confidence. Preservation matters too. Even circulated and dirty coins should be handled carefully to prevent further damage, and storage in inert holders can help maintain long-term stability. Reputable sources include major coin shows, online auctions, and established dealers who specialize in modern U.S. issues. For those pursuing registry sets, targeting high-grade full-band examples can elevate a collection's prestige. What ultimately makes the 1995 P Roosevelt dime so compelling is its ability to bridge the gap between everyday commerce and numismatic rarity. It embodies the industrial challenges of the 1990s minting process, carries forward the cultural legacy of Roosevelt's portrait, and rewards collectors who can spot overlooked gems in unlikely places. Even in poor condition, its potential value lies in anomalies and the growing respect for modern coinage within the hobby. As collectors continue to reassess the importance of post-1965 issues, the 1995 P dime stands as a reminder that history, artistry, and scarcity are not limited to centuries-old coins. While a cleaner example would command a premium, even a dime in poor condition retains significant value because the diagnostic feature, the faint cavity, is still often detectable beneath the wear and grime. Survival in any grade is a minor miracle, and collectors are far more concerned with the presence of the error than with its aesthetic appeal. The 1995 Roosevelt dime with the P mint mark earns its place among the most intriguing modern U.S. coins. Its mix of historical context, design significance, potential for rare errors, and strong market demand ensures it will not be overlooked by serious numismatists. Whether discovered in a roll search, purchased from a dealer, or retrieved from circulation in worn and dirty condition, the coin offers more than face value. It offers entry into a growing niche of numismatic appreciation. For both new and seasoned collectors, the 1995 P dime represents both a challenge and an opportunity, embodying the essence of modern rarity and the enduring fascination of coin collecting. And at the end, we're diving deep in the world of numismatics. The most rarest and valuable 1996 P Roosevelt dime stands as a paradoxical treasure, a coin whose humble appearance and recent minting date belie a captivating and unexpected narrative of scarcity. For the collector in 2025, its allure is not found in pristine luster or obvious beauty, but in the enigmatic circumstances of its creation and survival. A very dirty, well-circulated example of this coin might seem like mere pocket change to the uninitiated, but to the informed enthusiast, it represents a fascinating chapter in modern minting history. Its value and desirability are driven not by age but by its status as a transitional piece, a product of a specific and challenging period at the Philadelphia Mint, making it a highly sought-after numismatic outlier whose market demand continues to grow as more collectors become aware of its unique story. The historical context of the 1996 P Roosevelt dime is intricately tied to a period of significant modernization and upheaval within the United States Mint. The mid-1990s was an era of economic optimism and technological advancement, but for the Mint, it was a time of immense pressure to increase production efficiency and output. The Philadelphia Mint, in particular, was undergoing a profound transformation of its striking processes, phasing out older equipment and implementing new, high-speed presses. The 1996 production year was caught in the middle of this transition, leading to inconsistencies and, crucially, a dramatically lower output of dimes from the Philadelphia facility compared to Denver. This coin, therefore, is not a relic of a distant past, but a tangible artifact of industrial change, a symbol of the Mint's struggle to balance quantity with quality during a pivotal moment in its operational history. From a design perspective, the coin adheres to the standard specifications of the series, yet its unique features are revealed under scrutiny. The obverse features John R. Sinek's familiar profile of President Franklin D. Roosevelt, accompanied by the inscriptions Liberty, In God We Trust, and the year 1996. The reverse displays a torch flanked by an olive branch and an oak branch, with the inscriptions United States of America, E Pluribus Unum, and 1 dime. Its composition is a clad metal sandwich of copper-nickel over a pure copper core, with a diameter of 17.91 millimeters. The key distinctive feature for this specific issue lies not in its design, but in its strike. Coins from this period are known for often being weakly struck due to the Mint's experimental use of worn dies and adjusted pressures on new machinery. A high-quality strike from this year, particularly one exhibiting full band details on the reverse torch, is exceptionally rare and highly prized, representing a momentary triumph of craftsmanship over the prevailing production challenges. The extreme rarity of the 1996 P Roosevelt dime is almost entirely a function of its shockingly low mintage for a modern business strike, estimated to be merely in the tens of thousands, a minuscule fraction of the hundreds of millions of dimes typically produced annually. This scarcity is compounded by a very low survival rate in any condition, as the vast majority were immediately released into circulation and subjected to decades of wear and loss. While no major mint errors like double dies are commonly attributed to this issue, its rarity is its primary error, a mintage anomaly. Consequently, a very dirty or heavily circulated example remains immensely valuable because even in such poor condition, it is a confirmed specimen of an ultra-rare issue. In numismatics, rarity often trumps condition, and for the 1996 P, ownership of any example, regardless of its surface grime or lack of detail, is the primary goal for specialists. The market value for this coin reflects its legendary status among modern variety collectors. A heavily circulated, problem-free example, graded perhaps good 4 by a major service, can reliably command prices between $300 and $500 due to the sheer difficulty of locating one. In higher circulated grades like extremely fine, the value can jump to the $800 to $1,200 range. Mint state examples are virtually mythical, with any specimen grading MS 60 or above easily fetching several $1,000s, and a coin with full band details would be a centerpiece auction item capable of reaching 5 figures. These values are not speculative but are firmly established by well-documented auction records and private sale data, underscoring a sustained and powerful demand that consistently outstrips the extremely limited supply. For collectors seeking this numismatic grail, the journey requires diligence and managed expectations. The first step is simply to check every 1996 dime for the P mint mark located on the obverse above the date. Given its extreme rarity, finding one in circulation is a monumental event akin to winning the lottery. Most acquisitions will occur through established numismatic channels. It is paramount to purchase only examples that have been authenticated and graded by either PCGS or NGC, as this guarantees the coin's genuineness and protects against alterations or counterfeits. When handling a raw coin, even a dirty one, care should be taken to hold it by the edges to preserve any remaining surfaces. The recommended sources are major auction houses that specialize in U.S. coins or exceedingly reputable dealers with expertise in modern rarities. In conclusion, the 1996 P Roosevelt Dime's enduring appeal is a powerful testament to the fact that in coin collecting, significance is not measured by age alone. It is a modern rarity born from a unique convergence of historical circumstance and industrial evolution at the Philadelphia Mint. Its value lies in its narrative as an overlooked and underproduced issue that slipped into the pockets of an unsuspecting public, only to be later recognized as a cornerstone for the specialized collector. It offers both the novice and the seasoned numismatist a tangible connection to a specific, challenging moment in minting history. As more collectors turn their attention to modern varieties, the 1996 P Dime's legacy is secure, promising continued appreciation and solidifying its place as one of the most intriguing and valuable regular issue coins of the late 20th century.